And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, and I am now joined by Chicago Bears second-year quarterback out of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, Matt Blanchard. Thanks for joining the show, Matt. How's it going?
It's going well, Chris. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, it's a pleasure. I want to start this interview off by talking about your college days as you grew up in Illinois, attended Lake Zurich High School, and you attended Northern Michigan University and would later on transfer to the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Why did you want to make that change?
I started out of high school. Obviously, like you said, I went to North Michigan, and, I got a scholarship up there. It just wasn't the right fit for me. Ended up, going to Whitewater. I didn't want to lose a year eligibility. Had some interest for some walk-on opportunities, but, didn't want to lose a year eligibility. So I went to a D3 school, and Wisconsin-Whitewater's program was kind of on the rise, and my brother had played D3 football at Mount Union College, so I knew all about D3 ball, and made the change, and I had a great career, and it all worked out well.
Now, during your 3 years at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, you led the Warhawks to a combined record of 45-0. You guys went undefeated, and you would actually pass for over 5,000 yards, 44 touchdowns, completed 70% of your passes, and only threw 5 interceptions during those 3 years. Now, obviously, those are some very impressive stats. Looking back at your college football career, how would you describe it?
Oh, man, it was an incredible experience for me, never losing a game at Whitewater. It's a pretty unique feeling. You go 3 years without a loss. It's just incredible. But, we did a lot of good stuff offensively. We had a great coaching staff in place. A lot of good players bought into the system. And for me personally, I kind of shaped my work ethic there and really just enjoyed playing football and fell in love even more with the game. Just with all these guys who are passionate about the game, it's hard not to just love what you're working for.
How were you able to have so much success at Whitewater? Was it your talent? Was it your team? Were you guys just too good for the competition around you guys?
I think it's really unique where you have a lot of guys who, like I already alluded to, a lot of guys who buy into the system and really truly believe what a coaching staff is trying to accomplish. And with the tradition of winning that they had set in place, our head coach Lance Leipold set in place, it was really easy for us to buy in. And for my personal success offensively, we did a lot of good stuff. We're focusing on being efficient within our offense. Those 3 years I played, I had a really high completion percentage, and that's just attributed to the pass game and getting rid of the ball quickly and not holding on to the ball too long and really being efficient.
Now, rumor has it that you could actually run the ball pretty well. Is that right, Matt?
I can scoot a little bit. I definitely could move a lot better against D3 athletes than the NFL athletes. But it's just it's part of being a quarterback. You gotta be able to move around the pocket, and I know I'm not a 4.5 speed guy, but if I have to, I can maybe turn on the jets and run a low 4.6.
Now, Matt, I recently just graduated high school. I'll be attending Columbia College Chicago. Overall, can you tell us about your college experience?
Oh, yeah, it was really great. College is a great opportunity for kids just to let loose and, have some fun and also kind of grow up, mature, and kind of shape who you are, who you're going to be as a human being, entering really the real world. And it was really neat, and I met a lot of great people. You're going to have those relationships just like you kind of do from high school. But the ones you shape in college, the friendships that you have, I think those are a little bit more long-lasting. So that's kind of what I got out of it.
You guys are listening to Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, talking with Chicago Bears quarterback Matt Blanchard. Matt, you went undrafted in the 2012 NFL Draft. Were you expecting to be drafted at all?
I really wasn't. I had some good workouts leading up to the draft. good quarterback class, with Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin obviously going 1-2, and then, we had some good quarterbacks that were pretty deep, like, Russell Wilson, you had Brandon Wheaton, you had all these guys go drafted and actually play this year. So I really wasn't expecting it. What I was hoping for is maybe getting signed as an undrafted free agent or a tryout opportunity, and, when the Bears called, I could have been happier.
And what was that like when you walked into Hallis Hall, spoke with General Manager Phil Emery, and signed with your hometown team, the Chicago Bears?
It was really unique. I remember it was Mother's Day, and I couldn't wait to give my mom and dad a call and let them know that after the minicamp they were signing me. It was kind of like all this work you've been working for. All this work you've been putting in, it's all coming to fruition, and it was so cool.
Now, I know you haven't been in the NFL for long, but has there ever been that moment for you yet where you're just like, where it hits you and your thoughts are just like, wow, I'm actually in the NFL?
I definitely had a lot of those moments last year, especially in training camp. When there's thousands of fans at a practice, I probably had fewer fans at a game sometimes at Whitewater. So it was pretty neat. Especially last year in preseason training camp, just a lot of wow. Like, I'm here and I'm playing, and it was really cool, and it felt great where I was at, especially the first couple preseason games I got to play, and it just felt really good.
Last season, you played throughout the preseason, like you said, and you would then be placed on the Bears practice squad and learn from Jay Cutler, Jason Campbell. Can you tell us a few things that you learned from those guys?
Yeah, I learned a lot from those guys. Mostly from Jay and Jason is just how to be a pro, showing up and working every single day. Those guys are incredible, putting a lot of time in and working really hard. They've had a lot of success in the NFL, so everything you say, you just kind of got to take a mental note of everything. And then with Josh and training camp, and Josh this year, and when Josh came back, he's helped me out a ton as far as kind of just understanding, how the NFL works, how our offense is trying to be productive, and just everything. I can't say enough of how much those guys helped me.
Chris Shanfeld here talking with Chicago Bears quarterback Matt Blanchard. Matt, what do you feel your strengths are as a quarterback?
Definitely being, right now, is definitely being a game manager. Being in control of everything that's going on and being efficient. I can make, the throws that are required to play in the NFL. But right now, being smart and trying to be one step ahead of the defense you're going against, I feel like that's a big strength of mine. And again, I just can't harp on efficiency because, if you're taking completions, you're doing something right.
All right, and it was on December 4th, 2012, you were actually released by the Chicago Bears. Did you ever think that maybe you didn't have that much on tape and that that could have been your one and only chance in the NFL?
No, they had alluded to me that they were going to bring me back. So, I wasn't too down in the dumps. I had actually worked out with Seattle. Then the following week, went out there for a day. I kind of knew I was going to be coming back for this off season. And then just some other teams were interested, signing me as a future reserve. But I didn't want to go anywhere else but Chicago.
Yeah, that sounds good. And, of course, it was on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2012, the Chicago Bears decided to fire head coach Lovie Smith after a 10-6 record and just missing the playoffs. What was your reaction? What was your reaction like after you heard that news?
If there's one thing I learned is that, you can never be surprised by anything that happens in the NFL. You just got to take it and roll with it. I actually had a really close relationship with Jeremy Bates, our quarterback's coach on that coaching staff. And, I was sad to see him go. because he kind of brought me in and gave me a lot of projects to do last off season, and I was looking forward to working with him this off season. So it was kind of disappointing, but I think with the new coaching staff coming in, it's all good.
And of course, in January, the Chicago Bears had to make a lot of moves. They've hired quarterback and offensive guru Mark Trestman as head coach, Aaron Cromer as O-line coach and offensive coordinator. You've been able to work with those guys for a little bit now. What do you think about your new coaches?
They're really great. They're so focused on the details, and they're so focused on trying to make us better. And I know it sounds kind of like, well, every coaching staff should try to make them better, but these guys are really truly invested in trying to make all the quarterbacks as efficient as possible. And they're doing an incredible job. I don't think I've been in a system across the board, not just an offense, but the defense and offense together, a system where they harp so much on the details and sticking to them. And right now, as a quarterback group, he's putting a lot of pressure on us, making sure that we're held accountable for everything. And that's just the way it is. But he's Coach Trestman and Coach Cav and Coach Chrome and all the guys, they're doing an incredible job.
Now, Matt, you decided to take part in the rookie minicamp not too long ago, which I really like. I really think that probably helped you and your teammates out a lot. How did that all go, and how are the rookies looking?
It went really well. There was about 10 second-year guys, including myself, that partaked in it. And it was really good for all of us. We're not, a lot of us, we don't get many reps. We didn't get many reps in the voluntary minicamp a month or two ago, and then, in the OTAs now, we don't get as many reps. So it was great for us to kind of catch up a little bit. And the rookies are doing great. It was cool to see, Kyle Long and, some of these receivers flying around a little bit. With our up-tempo practice style, it's kind of tough to take note of certain players live on the field, but then once you look at the tape, you really see them moving well, and it's exciting. Good class coming in.
Now, during those practices, you were wearing a camera on your helmet, which caught a lot of attention around the NFL. Do you like the idea of practicing with the camera and having the coaches look over and see exactly what you are seeing and how you are seeing it?
It was kind of a unique thing. I don't think it was meant to be that big. I think Coach Trestman just wanted to kind of get a look and kind of try it out, but that kind of exploded. But anyways, it's the footage was pretty cool. We had to change the angle a little bit on the camera because it looked like at first I was looking at the ground the whole time. But no, it was good. Again, it's just another tool to kind of use if they want. Just making sure we're looking at the right things and making sure we're going through our reads and the right progression. Because sometimes it's tough to tell just from the overhead film. So it was neat.
What are the expectations for Chicago Bears quarterback Matt Blanchard for the 2013-2014 NFL season? Your name is in there for trying to battle for that second-string quarterback spot. So, what are your expectations for this upcoming season, Matt?
It's just battling for a roster spot. Whatever reps I'm given is, I can't say it enough. I got to take advantage of those. I know I'm going to be getting a lot of time in preseason to play, and it's going to be a great opportunity for me to show off my skill set and show off what I can do with this offense and with the team. And so looking forward to this season. It's just battling for a roster spot, and whatever I'm given, you got to take full advantage of it. So not setting the bar too high, not setting the bar too low, just kind of staying even keel right now and just taking everything in stride and understand that it's a learning process, and just got to keep learning.
Hey, that sounds great. And Matt, earlier today, news broke that Brian Urlacher retired from the game of football. Growing up in Illinois, and I'll assume that you're a Bears fan, and then being able to play on the same team as him for his last year, how was that?
It was pretty special. I didn't know it was going to be his last year playing. but I mean, can't say enough about how much impact he had as a leader in the locker room and on the field. I mean, it's just what an incredible presence. You know, living in the Chicagoland area my whole life, you know, I saw him play growing up, and you know, it was very special for me to kind of share his last season, and you know, he had a great last go, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Chris Shanfeld here with Chicago Bears quarterback Matt Blanchard. Matt, I truly appreciate your time on the show, man. It has been a pleasure. Wishing you nothing but the best this upcoming season. Now, I have just a few quick, fun, personal questions for you, and then I'll let you go. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Matt, what is your favorite TV show and movie?
Oh, man, you know, kind of sad. You know, I was an Office fan. I've been an Office fan for a good part of 10 years. That show's been going. So it's sad to see that end. But favorite movie, you know, it's kind of been, I always say it's Gladiator with Russell Crowe. I mean, what an incredible film. You know, I remember watching it in high school, and it's just a good film. All
right, favorite thing to eat?
Oh, man, favorite thing. See, I'm a clean eater. It kind of changes, but, anything good. I got a bad sweet tooth. I know it's kind of contradicting myself. I eat clean, but I got a sweet tooth. But I don't know, some good homemade chocolate chip cookies. That's a solid one.
All right, favorite thing to do in your free time?
You know what? I do a lot of reading. You know, I'm very interested, and as I said, I'm a healthy eater, and you know, I went to school pretty much for physical education, health, and nutrition. So I'm really into nutrition and all that stuff. So, you know, kind of like my hobbies when I have some free time is just, you know, read some recent articles or read some books on that stuff.
All right, so you say you went to college for physical education and nutrition. So does that mean once your football career is over, do you plan on being like a PE teacher or something like that?
It was at first. You know, that might be shifting. You know, whenever the time is up, you know, I definitely want to steer more as a nutritionist side of things. I think, you know, professional athletes, I think maybe are lacking information at times, and you know, maybe I could. Whenever I'm done, I can kind of fill in the gaps for some players.
You ever talk to Josh McCown about those things? Because I know the Bears, you know, before the Bears brought him in, he was actually a high school gym teacher as well.
Yeah, no, Josh and I, you know, shoot that stuff back and forth. It's pretty cool.
All right, Matt, you're on Twitter at Matt_Blanchard_. Of course, if it wasn't for the magic of Twitter and social media, you wouldn't be on the show right now, so I really do appreciate it. Why do you make it important to connect with your fans?
Yeah, you know, I should be using Twitter more often. Sometimes I don't check it as often as I should, but I think it's really important. It's, you know, social media can be a great tool, can be a bad tool at the same time, but if you use it for the good and you use it to kind of connect with fans and friends that you haven't talked to in a while, it's a great outlet, and it lets people see, you know, the real person, and lets people kind of into your life a little bit.
If you were able to meet any famous person, who would that be and why?
Probably my boyhood idol, Michael Jordan. He's, you know, watched him growing up with the Bulls. I still remember my first Bulls game against the Jazz. And yeah, I mean, he's just, you know, he's someone who was blessed and born with a great amount of talent, but someone who also just worked extremely hard at his craft, and one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So to meet an athlete and talk to him would be very special.
Yeah, definitely, I would say the greatest basketball player of all time. But what's up with him and the Bobcats, man?
You know what? I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, you can't have it all sometimes. You know, it's not all the best player in the world might not be might not make the best coach or the best GM, teacher, whatever. I mean, it can happen with anybody. But you know, he's the best basketball player of all time. So, I mean, shoot.
Yeah, you got that right. And I should actually say the Charlotte Hornets, as they will be going back to the Charlotte Hornets now, not the Charlotte Bobcats anymore. And last but not least, Matt, what is something about Matt Blanchard that many people don't know?
Oh, man. Geez, these are always the toughest questions. I don't know. I mean, I'm a really big family man. It's just my brother, my mom, my dad, and my aunt, my grandma, and my grandpa, and a couple close relatives. But I spent a lot of time with them, and I think that kind of gets overlooked a lot of times. But I'm really close to my family.
Well, hey, Matt, I can't thank you enough for this interview. A little over 20 minutes. I really appreciate your time, man. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to plug on there for myself and our listeners?
No, just look forward to this preseason, and look forward to this 2013 season with the Chicago Bears. It's going to be an incredible ride. There's a lot of talent in the building and a great coaching staff in place. I think Chicago's in for a great ride this year.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Hey, I'll be seeing you in Bourbonnais for training camp.
Absolutely. Great talking to you, Chris.
All right, take care.